Best shirt ever! What's up, party people? It's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're brand new. Today's video is going to be another story time about another crazy thing that's happened in my crazy ass life. This happened a couple years ago and it made me laugh a lot. Hopefully it'll make you laugh a lot too. So let's go ahead and jump in. So this happened probably close to like a year and a half ago. At the time I was working at a restaurant job and I was getting ready to drive to work. I think I had to be at work at like 11 a.m. or something like that. And I needed to get something before I went to work. I can't remember exactly what it is I was getting, but I wanted to go to Walmart, which was like, you know, a 10-15 minute drive from my house, and then I was just gonna head to work after that. So I made my way to Walmart, and pretty much the way that the road was set up where I used to live was it was just kind of this one main road that went all the way down to Walmart. So you were on that road for like 10 minutes and then you were there. So it's a lot of like stop and go traffic depending on what time of morning you're there and everything like that. So I was on this main road. I'm just cruising, probably listening to like 1989 or something like that, having a great time. And it gets a little more congested, like a little more trafficy, so I'm kind of like doing this stop and go thing. And then eventually I get to a stoplight. So I stop at this stoplight and I'm just sitting there chilling, you know, I don't know, I was like checking my phone or something, waiting for the light to turn green, when all of a sudden the car in front of me just starts like moving towards me. And I'm like, that's not supposed to happen. And I did that thing where you kind of look out your own window because you're like, am I moving forward? Like, is this me? Am I moving forward or are they moving backward? I'm very confused. And they just kept on rolling backwards until boop, our cars collided. And I was kind of like, okay. But it was such a light tap and the person backed into me, so I just sat there and waited. I wasn't gonna get up and get out of the car. At the time I was driving like a 15-year-old car as it was, and it was a piece of shit. So I didn't really care, to be honest. And also, not to mention, there had been like a couple of robberies in the area recently where people would rear end somebody or bump their car, and then when they would get out to check, they would get in their car and steal it. So I was just like, I'm good where I am, thanks. But I waited, and lo and behold, this guy flies out of the driver's seat of the car and starts like running over to me. And so I just like roll down my window like, yes. And before I can say anything, this guy is full on yelling at me in the middle of this intersection. We're stopped because he can't move his car because his car is literally like attached to mine. And he's like, this is a brand new car. How could you? Da 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 da. And starts like yelling, and I just looked at him and I was like, you backed into me. I was just sitting here fucking minding my own business. I was like, I wasn't moving forward. You backed into me. And he's like, I did? And I'm like, yeah, that's why we collided, is because you rolled back and you rolled into me. Like, were you not on the brake? Like, so he's not calming down at all whatsoever. This guy is having a full-blown meltdown. He's being such a jerk. I'm not getting out of the car because I don't have time for this. It's not my fault. I'm kind of over it, but I'm being polite because that's what I do. I'm being kind to him, and I'm just like, well, you know, it wasn't my fault, but like, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. And he's like, well, try backing up so that you can, you know, our cars were kind of like, I think he was like hooked on my bumper or something like that. And he's like, try backing up so you can get our cars separated. And he's still standing outside his car at this point, and I'm just thinking, okay, sure. So I start backing up. I back up my car, and as I'm backing up my car, his car is just following it. Because his car is clearly in neutral, and I'm just sitting here backing up like this very, very slowly, and his car is just following mine. And I'm like, and like people are honking at us in the street, and luckily it's such a wide street that like people were able to get away, and we were kind of like off to the side a little bit. People could get around and stuff, but I'm just sitting there like so embarrassed, and I'm like kind of already laughing to myself at this point because I'm like, only I would get into an accident that like consists of someone rolling backwards into my car. Whatever, so I'm backing up, his car's following me, and I'm like, sir, you need to put your car in park or like take your car out of neutral because your car is like following mine. And he's like, no, it's fine, I'll just hold it. So he gets in front of his car like this and starts holding the bumper, and he's like, okay, back up. And I'm in my head like, this is not, okay, sure, all right. So I start backing up, and he's holding his car like this. I start backing up, and he can't hold his car any longer, so he lets go, and our cars collide again. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, bro, you gotta get in your car and put it in park because this is not working. We're gonna keep colliding cars, and like, I don't really care because my car's a piece of shit, but like, you might because you said it's a brand new car. So he gets into his car, and as he's trying to, I guess, put his car in drive or whatever it is he's trying to do, he backs into my car again, a third time. I wish I was making this up, honestly. We had 3 bumps, 3 collisions during the course of this interaction with each other. I was dying laughing at this point. I was like, I don't even care. This is so funny. And he was getting really frustrated with me laughing, and I was trying really hard not to be rude, but I was like, bruh, how long have you had your license? Like, this guy was plenty older than me. And I think what made it so funny is just that he was being so unbelievably rude about it. And I understand that he was stressed because it was a brand new car. I totally get it, but the way he was handling it and like just how frantic he was being was just making it that much funnier. And the more rude he got, the more inclined I was to laugh. So finally I was like, sir, just put your car in park. Just park it, just put it in park, maybe pull the e-brake a couple times just to make sure, and then I'll back up. So finally, he puts his car in park, pulls the e-brake, whatever he does, I back out, we are separated, and we are both in park. There is no more touching of the cars at this point. I'm like, look, you had 3 and we're done after that. We're done. So he's like, I need to get your information, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're not getting my information. Like, you backed into me. I don't know really what the rules are with that, but I was like, Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like throughout this entire time, he's like still yelling at me, like scolding me like I'm his daughter. So finally, after like some discussion, he looked at the car and he looked at my car. I, mind you, did not get out of my car one time during this entire thing. I guess my like chill level was just like at 0 that day. Like I was just like, nope. So he assesses my car, he assesses his car, he decides, I guess, that everything's okay. Somehow, miraculously, his car didn't have any damage. I had like a really thick, almost like a plastic or like fiberglass bumper, so it was like really, really strong, and like I wouldn't have cared if that broke because it was old and crappy, but like he had like a really nice kind of like metal bumper that was like part of his car, so I was kind of concerned. But after a lot of back and forth between the two of us, of him yelling at me and me just being like, yes sir, sorry sir, okay sir, he decided that everything was okay, and then he just got in his car and literally just like peeled off and drove off. And I was just like sitting there scratching my head like, what just happened? I worry for that guy and his driving record and like the safety of other people that are on the road with him, but hopefully he figured out whatever it was that was making him have a bad day and like improved after that. So that was the story about the dumbest car accident I've ever had in my life. I collided with someone 3 times and none of them were my fault. This whole entire ordeal of this interaction between me and this guy was like 3 to 5 minutes, by the way. So this all happened in a very short, condensed amount of time. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more Storytime videos in the future, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I post 2 new videos a week. And as always, I love your tits. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. You hit my car! No, I didn't.
Forgive me for my wrongs, I have just begun. Ain't no mercy, ain't no mercy. Huh.